It's 5:25 in the morning, Wednesday, November 13th, 2024. I slept for like an hour. Woke up to somebody yelling outside at the top of, like, yeah, why are you doing this now? Who the fuck ever you are, why? Again, like, I've been, like, sitting here doing these recordings, like, nightly for, like, 2 weeks. I've saved them. I mean, that should at least, like, provide some insight on how weird. Why are you doing this? Yeah, sure, set up. Try to, like, I took some naproxen. I made an energy drink. I don't know why the thought keeps going through my head. Whatever. Some shit about there was a lady who got evicted from a building. It's like they made me watch this happen to her and how no one cared. They said that she was a drunk. Like, I remember the other people in her building, like, saying she was a drunk and thinking, wow, all these people are assholes. They don't really care about human rights at all. They don't care about anything. They're not, like, fighting tenants united, like, keep her housed or something. They were all talking shit. And, like, whether she was a drunk or not, I don't know. Just talking shit about her. I feel like they deliberately said a lot of things to me at that building that were meant to, like, carry forward into 2020. Stuff about a doctor that had deliberately misdiagnosed his patients with cancer so he could get money. Went through a big song and dance about a pedophile getting shot in the head at an airport. The lady came out with a box of what looked like wall screws and said they had taken the screws out of, like, her body. That's not what they look like twisty wall screws. Stuff about the internet. We don't really understand how it works. The guy kept saying that someone had come up to him and threatened him with a knife, and he was in a wheelchair, so he was like, he had a knife taped to his wheelchair, and that if that guy was gonna stab him, he was gonna get blood on him back, so they could, like, find him and trace the blood or something. And they told me these, like, repeatedly, that they thought Trump was going to have a heart attack, that the FBI was going to give Trump a heart attack because he was going to roll over on them in some kind of, like, corruption thing. Yeah, and I liked shooting the shit with those people. I mean, but I feel like they did not actually give a fuck about me, you know? Yeah, he told me another story about, like, in his day, they thought, like, any kind of operation to save you was, like, against God or something. He was older. But he had, like, stents put in his heart. And, like, he was still alive. Don't know if he's still alive now. It's nice to think that he is. But what the fuck? Yeah, he tried to teach me how I'm supposed to, like, knock a gun out of somebody's hand. I mean, like, why would you have to worry? Yeah, there was a couple things. That's not like they were telling me a story. Just like remembering this woman who was like extra on the Jesus stuff, and then her coming into the office saying that she felt like someone was doing shit above her, and I was trying to help her, like a therapist could. And I feel like now they were just fucking with me. But yeah, like whatever is cool about me is wasted on people. They don't really give a fuck. They think everything's a joke. Yeah, some gross things. There was like always piss in the stairwell. Stuff like that. Just like memories of that one place. I feel like there were a couple more stories that were like over and over again. I remember being really disappointed walking out, and they were talking about like I mean, I had seen this guy as like a pseudo granddad or something, and he was talking about getting blowjobs and stuff. And I mean, that's like human, but it just felt like you too. Like in the way he was talking about it was just like, man, whatever. Yeah. Just felt like disgusted. There was a couple guys at that place, somebody that worked there, and another guy I remember that lived there, who like kept finding, like they were like putting their hand on me somehow, and then had a problem with me telling them not to. The guy that worked there punched me in the boob like this. Like he was doing something with some keys and like slipped with his hand and punched me in the fucking chest. Yeah, I don't think he liked me, and like found a way to like touch me, and I hate him for that so much. But I was like sticking up for him because some girl that lived in the building had like he called himself a poet, like an evangelical poet. I was not interested in his stuff, and I guess he took insult to that on top of it. But I stuck up for, like, she had torn his book apart or something, and like I did feel bad for him, like as a writer. Like that is like, even if I hate your shit, like I understand why that would hurt your feelings. And he punched me in the tit. I do not have good memories of like a lot of things that, I mean, it's like, what a waste of my life. Yeah, there was like, the people would be cool. There was like a duo of two ladies, and I thought they were cool as shit at first, and then they started like screaming at me, and then she said, oh, she's quitting smoking. Okay, like, yeah, somebody making a point to open a backpack and having like needles in it, like as if to be like, oh, are you gonna care? I don't know what the fuck you're doing, dude. Like, leave me alone. I just work in the office. Yeah, I was the only one that had to do the garbage night thing. Like, there was a little circle of desk monitor people. I find that suspicious. And then they changed property management companies, didn't take me on, and that the new one ended up running this building for a year, which is suspicious. The one that runs it now worked for the old one, which, like, it's just like a little incestual company thing or something. Everybody works for everybody. Yeah, if you could have thought she hated that place, and like, so they started their own company, and how much cooler that story would have been. But I mean, yeah, anybody that's literally getting, like, tried, even if it failed, they didn't evict you, but, like, tried to evict you, I feel like you're a heartless bitch. I don't know how to, like, redeem that. Like, I'm supposed to sit here and hope that you, like, changed your mind? We were gonna execute you and then never mind. Oh yeah, well, you're still not emailing me back. The trial was, like, on the 24th. So how long ago was that? And you haven't emailed me at all. Like, I get these auto messages from them. First, it was their grandma was dying. Then they were in California for their son's lacrosse meet. Then it said they were in the office, and it had, like, typed in a way so it, like, trying to meet deadlines, and then deadlines was like as if it's somebody's big joke to be like, we're gonna kill you. Yeah, did you, the rumbling all of a sudden outside of a car driving away? I did not mention their name. I did not mention the company. There's no way for you to, like, so, I mean, what are you trying to fucking pull? You shouldn't be listening to me in the privacy of my bedroom. I have binaural beats playing. I'm, like, talking under them. Like, there's all sorts of, like, bullshit. What, you're the one viewer on my thing? Then you're stalking me. There's always one viewer that doesn't talk. That would mean someone's getting paid to, like, watch you every time you come online, too. It should be easy enough to figure it out. Yeah, that's stalking, dick. Get the clear and obvious sound of someone, like, kicking stuff out. Like, someone is just, like, hanging outside all night tonight. Creepy as fuck. Oh, yeah, just another thing that there was a security guy that would leave his, like, pubic hair and shit in the bathroom, like, clearly on purpose. He left it on the sink. Like, that's its own, like, weird sexual harassment thing. And then, like, he got, like, let go or something, and people came in and said he had, like, a diabetes issue and lost his foot. And I felt really bad for him, but I'm tempted to, like, think they lied. They wanted you to feel bad that he got let go when he was, like, being a creep. Because people side with their friend. I didn't get him fired. I did say, like, there was obviously weird shit he was doing. Why should I have to put up with that? Grow up. But yeah, I mean, if he really lost his foot, I feel bad for him. I just hate this, like, emotional manipulation shit. That's what it felt like when the management person had this, like, around the time of the trial, I was getting the auto email saying they were in the hospital with their grandma. Like, I felt bad for them. And then I was angry that I felt bad for them. They even, like, put, like, family first. You know, lucky you to even have a family. Yeah, just drink some more caffeine. Pretty soon you won't help it. You'll have to, like, get up. What is it gonna... I'm cleaning the sink off in the bathroom. Clean off the toilet. Like, simple surface level. It takes a couple wipes of... Yeah, all I have is toilet paper. So, at least I have that, though. And so, like, I don't have paper towels. I asked them for supplies. Like, what the fuck would they... That's, like, this is the sick joke of stuff. It's like they want to humiliate you. You explicitly said you couldn't leave your apartment. You've explicitly explained that there's, like, ongoing... And you've talked about it for 4 years. There's 4 years of emails. That shit has been amiss. Yeah, the idea... Well, you didn't give a fuck in 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. Didn't give a fuck. Weren't trying to evict me then. Why now? I'm being a bitch? What? I'm scared you're going to kill me by, like, just a matter of, like, paperwork. I'm not being a bitch. I don't know how to put you in the position that's like, oh, I understand. I mean, if you're in Portland, I think you'd have, like, absorbed the information about, like, housing as a human right. It's, like, in the air. It's in everything you read about. It's in everything city council would talk about. It's, like, every day. The world around you. How did you miss the memo? The fuck? And yeah, it's a low-income services building. I mean, if you ever do get evicted, you can raise the biggest fucking stink in the world, at least about this. You run 1,300 low-income affordable housing units. You sit on the board of housing for the city. And you let me die? Bunch of fucking bullshit. Yeah, this isn't like, I don't know, as if like somebody that's in a more expensive unit doesn't deserve housing rights or something, but like it's like a targeted thing. You're fucking with a poor person, and you know I was poor. That's the whole point. Yeah, I bet you have a fucking house. Or a couple of them, too. What? And that's the person that, they, like, own the building, and then they hire the management companies. Like, that person has been aware of my existence on some level since I moved in 2015. I feel like they're the one who should be directly talking to me. Not a company they just hired a year ago that followed up a company that was hired for only like a year before that. This middle management thing, like where you hire a property management company to run your building, is just like a way to shirk responsibility. Yeah, it's like they're the CEO and the management company is your boss. But like, they're the CEO. It's their shit. The floor manager, and then you're a cashier. Yeah, another reason why this should have been such a different story. There was shit that came out of COVID of like tenants that bought their apartments outright from the building, so they like own their apartments. Of people that protested for like housing rights, and that was in Portland. The protest like signed the petition thing talking about how fucked up it was downtown in 2020. The idea, like, no, they just don't care. You needed to suck some dick from some creep. Like, I mean, if the guy upstairs, apparently he left in 2022, and someone else has lived there from 2022 until June, and it's been empty since June, according to management. Which is like, so someone has gotten into that room, because there have constantly been people banging from above. No time did it stop until like the eviction hearings and shit, something kind of like died down after like October 16th. But so from June until October, there's been somebody up in that room. And you're just going to ignore me? What the fuck? Why should I let them into my room later today? Like, what legal basis? Like, I am just worried that they're just shuffling their way into getting me on this, like, bad situation. And yeah, I've said it so many times, like, so I don't know what else to do. Yeah, but let them in because they said so. Fucked up. Yeah, I mean, what are you supposed to do for income like, I don't know what the fuck to do. This ruined my life. It's like, that was the point, even. Yeah, somebody said it making it like a K-shaped thing. Like, and a lot of people went super trajectory up, and a bunch of people sank, and I sank. I don't know how I wasn't supposed to sink. Oh, that's what I was trying to say. Like, if the guy, whoever the fuck has been upstairs, if the original guy hadn't been creepy to me, I want to play with you all day, talking about needing to go to Reed College to find someone like me. He put it in writing. Flooding my apartment in 2018, pushing himself into the apartment in 2021, saying he was, oh, sorry, he's on the wrong floor. Evidence that I have, like, given to management. If he hadn't been a creep, man, a lot of things would have felt different. And then the lady next to me wasn't, like, such a bitch until after 2020. And then she turned into a raging bitch. And no, I don't think it's because she was fucking isolated. She was coming and going. People were coughing in the fucking hallway. Like, she never was isolated inside. Yeah, I can't control what you do. But, like, why the fuck are you doing shit to me? And then banging on the fucking wall from floor to ceiling for over an hour. That was the first time they ever did it. And then she wants to turn around and act like I'm the one that does that. I can't describe the way that it just, like... Yeah, like, it's not just, like, a slap in the face. There's, like, a special feeling to, like... just someone lying to your face. And, yeah, I guess I've only felt that way a couple times. I want to be able to put it into words. Like, there was a time when somebody broke something and hid it in a drawer. I don't know what really possessed me to open the drawer, because I said they could use, like, the bureau. The drawers and stuff to put their stuff. They were, like, staying with me for a little while, didn't know what they were gonna do next, blah blah blah. And I just had like this feeling to open the one drawer, and my stuff was in there broken. And she was like gone for a while. She said she had a job interview. Comes back from her job interview and like starts packing her stuff. And I like confront her about the broken thing. And she's like, "What broken thing?" I mean, she just lied to my face instead of just being like, "Yeah, she broke it and whatever." Why lie to my face? And I remember taking her bag and throwing it in the hallway. And that brought out the neighbor who couldn't mind her own fucking business. And there was this whole thing like a security guy coming, and I told her she could stay. I did not like it, like we were just having an argument. She was my best friend since high school. We were like sisters. I think it is no, it might have been the day Robin Williams died. Was the same day, because he died. I wrote something on Twitter. Then she wasn't showing up. I went looking for her. When I come back, they said that the wellness check people had been there. It's like, why? And then she showed up to like get her bag. It was all like a weird swirl of shit happening. And I think that was the same day. But like I didn't like the story idea of like I made her homeless is bullshit. She was packing her bag to leave. And then I told her she could stay. I mean, if you're really about to be homeless and it's like, I'm gonna go be with a creepy guy or I get to sleep on your floor some more, you'd pick sleeping on the floor. We've had like arguments before. There was nothing like so sincerely. She's the one that lied to my face. Yeah, the idea that she just like didn't get what she wanted or something out of the whole. Why was she even there? You know, it was like a rescue. She had trouble in the Peace Corps. She said she got raped in the Peace Corps. And I had trouble like processing. I don't want to say I didn't believe her. But like, I don't understand why you didn't tell me different if that's what happened. Like, it just, something didn't feel right. Because of the way she like told me about it. I was like, either you got kicked out for partying too much, or that was the lie they used because you actually got raped. I mean, which is it? This was like a long fucking time ago. But and the idea that she was using me as like a jumping pad for her own life. We had gone out at one night, and she was like, these guys, they just wanted to like fuck us and stuff, and like then she went off with them. I mean, things were just sort of like getting really skeezy. No, I did not want to fuck them. So, I missed my ex-boyfriend. I wasn't trying to fuck anybody. Yeah, she even like brought, I guess he had shown up at my apartment and given her an old cell phone and my ring back. And then she brought that to my workplace to give to me. I mean, yeah, she didn't know what was in the envelope or something. And it just like made me break down in tears, and she was like, you know, didn't give a fuck. She lost my stuff that was expensive, that I was still paying off with my boss. It was just like one thing after, and she power washed my Chromebook and lost all of my shit. Which, like, it took me forever to realize you have to go to a very specific option to power wash the Chromebook. You don't, like, accidentally delete everything. Oh my god. So yeah, it was like a weird little gremlin thing. But and I don't know, like I felt bad because later she gave me the story that she had to stay with some guy who was a creep because she didn't have anywhere. Was it for 2 days or 2 weeks? You know, the story changes. Yeah, just like these people stopped were they ever my friends? They were like way too close to me to not actually. And she's somebody that told me to move to Portland in the first place when we were 16. So I don't know what the fuck anything is about. Her going to her place in San Francisco after graduation. It's the only place in California I've ever been. And we walked down the hill from where she lived. And she points out some homeless guy and says, that guy's a millionaire. And I don't know if that was supposed to be like, here's a tip. These people are fucking rich and they're like pretending to be homeless, or they're slumming it, or they're doing some weird religious thing where like they gave up all their stuff but they're millionaires, or it's a tax evasion thing. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Maybe it was just because if you repeat that later you're gonna sound like a bitch, because these people are not rich at all. It left me, like, we didn't go to Europe. When my grandfather died, they left me $10,000 in little increments. Like they said, was not allowed to buy a car. I bought clothes. I bought a camera to be like a professional photographer. It was like legitimately something I could have done then. And we were gonna go to Europe. And then the longer we planned going backpacking through Europe, the more it was like, I'm gonna be paying for thing. How does she doesn't have any money. And then like she's gonna get in a fight with me because we fought all the time and ditch me somewhere. And then I told her this and we almost stopped being friends senior year of high school because like I had ruined her trip to Europe or something. And instead I visited her in California, where we went to the wharf, got in a fight, and she ditched me. Just like I was scared she would do in some country where I didn't speak the language. And I had to find my way back to her apartment by myself. Yeah, something about country bumpkins. I was like a bumpkin to her. And navigating my way through her big city. So exciting. So cool. Yeah, so much for the hippies that you would like imagine. Like something got really like fucked up between the 60s and today. I don't know, people lost their minds. Instead of hippies, it's like a circus thing. Yeah, remember they made me pancakes. It's like rocket ship pancakes, but they look like dicks. And it was sort of funny. Like the last day I was there, and then I realized they meant like, here, eat a bunch of dicks. Eat a dick was like the message. It wasn't nice at all. Her sister got like a parking ticket or something and was trying to make me give her $200 for it. Because I just had money from my grandfather dying. And I really care about these people. Like, I'm not going to use their name. But, like, they don't live in California anymore. Yeah, they're always somewhere else. And I haven't even talked to them for years. And my friend, her sister was cool, but I was like, I was best friends with the younger one. And, like, they dropped off the face of the earth. There is, like, a fear that they're dead sometimes. But I think her sister would have told me or posted about it if her sister died. So I'm thinking she's not dead. She just, like, doesn't want to be found. Yeah, and she taught me what the UN was. She weirdly told me they speak French in the UN, which is not true. But like, I didn't really learn about that in school. Her and other friends read The People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn. It's like the book to read if you want to understand some shit. Like, so they let me in on things I wasn't getting in my own classes, but they were. Like, they built me in a way. You can't really, like, understand me without knowing that they were in my life. That they were my best friends. But, I don't know, what the fuck? Yeah, they really were like my sister. Like, almost like more than my sister. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is true. Like, when I watch Hassan Piker, it's like watching, like, an amalgam of the kids from high school that I hung out with, and then also college. Like, it's, like, nostalgic for me, and they're, like, all crushed into one person. Even, like, the stupid shit he says. It's, like, because people would say stupid shit, too, obviously. And I don't know, it's like if that's something that's not in my world at all, I'm missing something. Like, someone that does political commentary, plays video games, is in touch, and at least, like, acts like they give a shit. I mean, I believe him that he does. It's not, like, ironically political. That would be fucking weird. I mean, I've even written, like, in chat a couple times, like, I hope you're for real, because we're doomed if you're not. Like, oh, cool, the second time the garbage truck showed up tonight. But hey, don't complain, because they showed up at 5 a.m. instead of 1:30, and then 4, and then 4:20. I didn't hear them if they showed up earlier than 5. I don't know. Well, just because I'm going through memories and stuff, like the weirdness of the duck. They, on their own volition, made me a stuffed animal duck, and then asked me what I wanted to name it, and I said Jersey, because all the bands I liked were from New Jersey when we were like 16, 17 years old. And that just felt like weirder and weirder as time went on. Like, they knew some shit before I ever did. And I don't understand how all these kids, you know, if I wrote a story someday about time travelers, which is, it's like constantly an element in stories I make up. Like time travelers that were protecting a girl from dying, time travel, whatever, but like, I mean, sometimes it's like, well, that's why they're missing now from your life. That, like, the school I went to was like a weird pause in the timeline. That's why you're so out of place and stuff. And it's like, they were educating you because they knew shit that was going to happen, and then they disappeared because they had to, like, or dispersed or whatever. She's disappeared. Another person's like a human rights activist, and another person does tech stuff. That was like the main group of 4 in high school. So I don't know, the sense that like I didn't keep up with the other 2 being successful, why I don't exist in my own way, but they do. Like, you can Google them and find them. They exist. The way you can Google Hassan Piker. I mean, you would think that the group of us from high school would have our own talk show and talk about current events and politics and gender studies and anything. And we would have had our own thing that would have been super smart with a lot less, like, horrible jokes, honestly. Like, you wouldn't get it confused, I think, as often. Yeah, there's irony, but we didn't joke like that about stuff. Yeah, we watched South Park too, but a lot of that shit would never come out of our mouths. Like, I don't know. And it feels like something's weird, like something was designed to stunt us or something too. I don't know. Separate and stunt. Because, like, if you combined everybody you went to school with and all the things everybody ended up doing, not just, like, your little core group, I mean, you could have been, like, a mini society or something. And someone maybe tried to, like, kill that. I don't see why I can't have the memories of my childhood and things that went wrong and connection to friends from school that, like, it's kind of as if you have to say something along the lines of, I owe my life and I would be nothing without the school in order to, like, do something. And if you don't say that, you ended up, like, kicked to the curb. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've been telling the same shit like putting it in writing my whole life. You can't just suddenly be like, oh no, everything's fine, it was totally fine, everything's fine. It wasn't. I was an atheist in a school that wasn't supposed to be Christian. Like, it's written, an essay I had to write was about the deed of trust stating that no sect or creed should be shown favoritism. Like, I had to argue with the pastor of the school about it. It's like, you just can't really get around. And I don't know, either people, like, are willing to be more hush, or they were religious. Like, they put it behind them. I also think it matters that I was there longer than my friends were. Like, my core friends. There were kids that were there longer than me. They call them meal bus babies. Like, they were there from kindergarten. But, like, everybody that I would hang out with or have a conversation with for an extended period of time, yeah, no shade on anyone else, but, like, I was there longer than everybody. To the point where sometimes I've wondered if someone went and deliberately picked these kids that ended up being my friends. Like, they assigned us lunch tables. And the tables could fit 5 to 7 people at them. But they only had me and, like, 2 other people at the table at lunch. The ones that told me to move to Portland. That's, I think, and that's, like, just, you don't notice that. Like, I don't talk to anybody anymore, so I can't, like, say that to them. But that's what I want to say. Like, did you notice this? What did you know when we were like 16 and 17? And who told you? Like, why were you like tipped off? And the fact that you could be tipped off, yeah, it gets like, dude, I guess that's why you need to shut up. Because, like, the one person, I dated them in college, the person that became a human rights activist. And they told me when they broke up with me that they looked 10 years ahead and didn't see me there. And that was 2010. So, like, 2020, when all this shit happened. Like, and I've been stuck inside. I mean, you told me to move to Portland. If something was specifically here that was going to trap me in my apartment, even, like, in some special way, like, what am I supposed to think? And, it's like they've gone on with their life. They have an entire life. I'm not trying to ruin it for them. We need people like them to be, like, a voice. An educated voice that gives a fuck. But, like, did you, like, sacrifice me or something? Like, what, the best you could do was, like, say that to me? How did you know anything? I mean, well, yeah, if I'm, like, seriously, I'm always, like, scared I'm gonna die now. And if I do, it's like, I don't want to have not asked that somehow. Like, what the fuck did you know, and why? Yeah, I get... Why didn't you tell everybody if you knew some shit? It was kind of like trying to put pieces together. The school that they went to... Apparently the town it's in is a military base. There was a kid that lived in their apartment who was a big jerk. I mean, there was nothing but negative stories. They even ended up getting us put into... We didn't get handcuffs. They ran out of handcuffs and put us in Ziploc ties. Zip ties. But ended up corralled with a bunch of people that got in trouble at a party. And he had, like, underage drinking and all of this shit. They vouched that we weren't part of the party. We were watching the fucking Sopranos. But, like... this other guy, he was, like, a helicopter mechanic or something in the army. I don't know if something about the military... Because I didn't see the school I grew up in as a military thing. Like, if I'd called it military foster care... It's because they made us do hospital corners when we made our beds. Like, from 5th grade. Like, had to learn how to do that. And you do it right. It gets checked. So important. I sleep in a hammock now. Like, the world's absurd. I couldn't care less about fucking hospital corners. I feel like you wasted my life. But, on hospital corners. But, anyway, and ironing and shit, like, it does drive a person crazy. Yeah, stay focused. The point is, like, something about the military had, like, creeped into life in a way that you didn't realize it was there. And then you're like, COVID itself is some kind of, like, military police takeover thing. I mean, that's what happened with the protests here. And it's explicitly said on the news. Bernie Sanders said it. Like, I have, like, 4 different interviews that were put in, like, reputable sourced media casts saying that the police and the military worked together and they were beating the shit out of protesters in 2020. And the protesters have since, like, it's like they disappeared. Yeah, it is not some, like, allegory to me. Like, this is, like, straight to the fucking heart of something going on. And yeah, I'm anti-war. I'm a civilian. I would never have, like, since I was a kid. I did a painting once of a war helmet and put, like, stickers, like it's a NASCAR jacket with the logos, but it's a war helmet. with the logos on it. That was like a painting I made in high school. And I've always been that kid. I want to be that person. I prefer that person. Thank you. I think there's a way smarter ways you can avoid all war if that was what your goal was in general. And that's why I also keep saying, like, what the fuck is this? Somebody wants to put you in some weird position so that you have the same issues and mentality as like a war guy, because they want to justify their own existence, because you're kind of like flying in the face of religion, of killing people for like a better reason or something. I'm a feminist. That seems to piss people off because they don't know what a feminist even is. Yeah, I'm scared and trying not to be all the time. I guess I'm gonna try to pick up my room now for strangers that don't give a fuck about me. That doesn't feel like how this is supposed to go. It's 6:16 in the morning. Yeah, I feel like I cut myself off even. Like, you've got more shit to say than that. I just, like, scared myself a little bit. Because it's, like, super real. We have an alumni that works for, or they did work for the Department of Defense. I guess they retired? I don't know. I wonder what the story is there. Like, did they get pushed out or something? I don't know. I don't know. But, they, have a clip on the internet saying, like, explaining that we have a civilian oversight, which I didn't know all this shit till they said it, so that there's not a coup in our country, so the military doesn't take over. And you like need that information to explain what possibly has gone terribly wrong since 2020. Like, what the fuck is everything around you? What is the Trump situation and like his link to using, like, there's a Bernie Sanders clip. I mean, I would just be playing clips right now. You don't have to hear it from me. Bernie Sanders saying, like, he used the previously unseen use of military police against citizens or something is like exactly the phrasing. The PBS News article where they say, I kind of want to keep this to an hour so I can post it. Maybe shouldn't post it. Anyway, the PBS News article one that says that they absolutely are working together, the military and the police, and specifically talking about Portland. Yeah, the neighbor that hates my guts, at some point Google Maps had a picture of the windows here, and she had like a Marines flag in her window. And then it brings up all, again, with the guy from college and stuff I was talking about, like the idea of the Third Amendment getting like a loophole by having people that part of the military that are like on a mission, then like living in housing. And like that's the idea. It's like a spy in your own home. And that should be covered by the Third Amendment. Like, you can't fucking do that. Yeah, I don't know. That kind of makes it... There was like a lot of veterans that used to live here, and I didn't have anything against veterans. They also seemed like the hippie type. You know, like they like fuck war after everything they'd been through. Not like, we're here to stalk you. Like... Yeah, when you say whose government is it anyway, or something? Like, who's really in charge? I need to pee. Oh, the last thing I want to say is the Colin Powell thing. Because I was in yearbook. We'd have like 2,000 kids fill the auditorium. Like, I think if you do K through 12 at the time I was there, it's like 2,000 kids and then adults and stuff. It was like a full all school assembly, and you just had me by myself assigned to taking photos of Colin Powell while he was speaking. I don't remember a damn thing he said because I was busy taking pictures of him. But I feel like that entire, like, did they want him to remember me? Did they want me to remember him? I didn't even really understand who he was or why it would be so important that he was there. And then it just kind of came circling through late, like, you stupid, I mean, he does, like, if you could ask every public school kid in the world who spoke at your school, who was ever, like, a public speaker that came to your school, there must be, like, tons of people. There must be somebody from every senior class that ends up working for the CIA or whatever, or the FBI. Like, it can't be, like, that weird, right? It was just, like, a combination of things. That's, like, these guys had, like, more connection than you would have ever realized or understood. And, like, you should pay attention to anything that happened or memories you've got. Almost like they're clues to what's supposed to happen. Because, like, they were, like, a little... Yeah, somebody keeps, like, flying close to the sun or something. But, like, they were a couple steps closer to some shit than you would ever, like... I don't know. Maybe that's like, again, I just haven't been able to talk to enough people to... I mean, I never thought to directly ask them, you went to public school. Do you remember who any of your school speakers were? Most of the stories I got from kids, which I, like, lived vicariously through them, were, like, they skipped class. They would have lunch as friends and go off school grounds and go to, like, a Wendy's or something to get lunch. Like, it was just, like smoking in the school bathroom, like, TV show shit to me. We were so, like, did not have that. It was a smoke-free campus. If you even smelled like cigarette smoke from home, for some reason, which would only be, like, the first day you come back from break, then, like, you could smell it, like, 10 miles away. I had to ask my dad to stop coming to chapel services because, like, you could smell him through, like, the whole fucking... It was embarrassing. And it's kind of sad. And then there was somebody later in life that I actually, like, wanted to sit next to in college. And they smelled, like, so much like cigarette smoke, but it was, like, kind of cool. It was, like, a total opposite thing. Anyway. Oh my fucking god. I don't know. Yeah, even that, like, everything was just a mission to get you to quit smoking. Well, I did. I haven't drank since 2020. I haven't smoked a cigarette since 2020. My back is, like, breaking, and it feels like people are still trying to kill me. But, oh, cool. Yeah, if it's all part of some public service announcement that I didn't know I was being... Oh, God, yeah, somebody telling me I was the poster child for not smoking. Because I got chronic bronchitis. I don't think I got it from inhaling one cigarette. I got it from sitting cold, wet from the rain for 3 hours. But I need to stop the video, so it's only an hour long. Okay. Fuck.